All right, so we are live on YouTube. Does it notify you that we're live?
It just said that I just saw that we're live. Yeah.
So all I need to do real fast, I need to go and change the category real fast. Give me a second. I believe it's this one. Yeah. What time is it? Ooh. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. All right, we are good on there. I'm going live on TikTok in 3, 2, 1. And all right, we good. So NFL Week 3 in the books. I got Andrew with me. We're gonna discuss the recap of Week 3. Probably gonna get into the whole NFL first, and then of course jump into Green Bay, and then maybe address comments here in TikTok or in YouTube if we get some. Um, but you have the rundown.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over last night's game, both games last night, Monday night game. We'll start with the Jags and Bills. Overall domination by the Bills. Josh Allen, early candidate, MVP candidate. With all the touchdowns he threw last night. Bills look like the most dominant team right now in the league. I don't know if you agree with that.
The Bills,
Yeah, the Bills.
most dominant. Yeah, yesterday was kind of a blowout. I honestly don't think there is a dominant team in the NFL right now, but I think sure.
No, I mean right now it's the Chiefs and the Bills, but
Well,
right now,
the Chiefs don't look dominant, man. Like
well, no.
they have,
But
I think
if
they
I
have
had to pick,
legit defense. I think they
yeah,
have legit defense, but I think the Bills do look a little bit more dominant than the Chiefs right now.
yeah, I disagree. But we can all agree the Jags are not good. Um,
Yeah, they're not good. I don't even think Trevor Lawrence is good, man.
yeah, I've been on this hype train I of the Trevor Lawrence not being all that great like everybody else thinks he is. I think I've been saying it for the past 2 years now, and been a lot of my friends and stuff. They kind of dog me. They're like, "Yeah, he's a good quarterback." He's like, "He's good, but he's not.
What has he done? He's
Yeah,
only won like one playoff game.
he's not 55 million a year good yet."
Yeah, exactly.
So, um, yeah. So like I said, Jags are not good. I don't know, man. Yeah, that game was just awful. I mean, as far if you're a Bills fan, it was awesome. But as far as like normal spectating, blowout in the
Uh-huh.
first half. Second game though, Bengals and Commanders was a little bit better. Now, not gonna lie, I didn't get to finish this game, but waking up and seeing the stats, are the Bengals in trouble starting 0-3 and losing to the Commanders like they lost?
Nah, not really. I don't think I don't think anyone in the AFC North besides the Steelers right now look good. I think Justin Fields. I don't trust him. I don't think he was a issue in Chicago, but I still don't trust him to like carry Pittsburgh to the top to win the division by the end of. I mean, it's a long season, right? It's not a
Mhm.
short season. It's a long season, and I think Burrow made a good point after the game. He said we haven't even played our anyone in our division yet, so that's 6 games that you got to circle for the Bengals, and if they win all of them, hey, they can still win the AFC North. I wouldn't panic with Burrow and Chase. And here, what does concern me about the Bengals though is they can't win at home this year. They've proven that they can't win at home yet. They're 0-2 at home, I think. And then the thing about yesterday is Burrow actually had a good game and he still got beat by the Commanders. Like that to me is a little scary. Like Burrow has a good game, you're at home and you still lose to Washington, who everyone thought was gonna be better this year, but no one thought they were gonna beat you last night.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of concerned about. Is like not necessarily concerned about the offense, Joe Burrow, Joe Martinez, like because like you said, Joe Burrow had a good game, 29 of 38, 324 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, passer rating of 127. Jamar had 6 receptions, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. So I'm not worried. I think it's the defense that I'm kind of worried about. I mean,
Yeah.
now like you said, the Commanders are better. We thought they were going to be a better team, and they are, but they put up 38 points against you. Like that's kind of crazy. And you let Jaden Daniels go 21 of 23,
Yeah.
254 passing yards.
Hey, your camera went out.
Oh, ew. Is it back?
Nah.
Oh shit.
Okay, now you're back.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. But 21 of 23, 254 yards and 2 tugs. Like he only missed 2 completions last night.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to criticize the Bengals defense last night, but you also got to criticize the Commanders too. They didn't stop the Bengals either. And I think in fairness, I don't think Washington punted last night, but I don't think they punted the week before that either. I think I heard that they didn't punt last week either. So you got to give credit to that offense. I think Jaden Daniels is their franchise quarterback. He looked good, man. He looked nice.
That was my next question on my sheet. So far, has he been the best rookie quarterback?
Yeah, hands down. Yeah.
But
I will say this: last night was my only time seeing him, though. But
I mean, me too. I've seen some highlights. I know he's had a few rushing touchdowns and stuff like that, but and I've seen a lot of Caleb Williams, a little of Bo Nix, and a little of Jaden Daniels, and it seems like Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels both had a good week this week. But so far, I think he's the best rookie quarterback coming out of 3 weeks of the season. So
yeah. Hold on, Andrew. So I just want to on TikTok. I want to thank Taco Tony for the rose. He's asking if he can join. We will bring up guests just a little bit later on. We're going to recap the week first, and then maybe in a little bit we'll bring up people. All right, guys. All right, cool. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah. So that's kind of all I had on those 2 games last night. I mean, we can kind of go back and forth when we get to the rest of the NFL. Did you have anything else to recap on Monday night games that you stood out to you?
Yeah. Oh, not Monday night. I think Washington. I think right now Washington looks better than Dallas. Dallas is another Bengals. Like they can't win at home, and Dak Prescott didn't have a bad game. His completion percentage could have been better, but besides that, he didn't have a bad game. And they still got spanked. I mean, they came back at the end, but they got spanked at home, man. Once again for like three and a half quarters, and I think they got blown out the week before that at home. Now last week Dak didn't have a good game, but this week, I think he played well enough to the point where the Cowboys only lost because of their defense. I don't think they lost because of Dak or Mike McCarthy and stuff like that,
Yeah. Going back to he threw a lot. I didn't realize he threw a lot. Going back to Dak's stats a little bit: 28 of 51, 379, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, quarterback rating 91.9. I just think it's Dallas's deep to me. Well, it's a little bit of both. I can't just say it's just Dallas defense. It seems like Dallas can't stop the run real well.
They can't tackle either.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy coming off of last year, them having one of the more solid defenses in the league. And now it just looks like they have Michael Parsons and a bunch of guys out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I was talking to my cousin earlier today, and I was like, dude, on defense, because he's a Cowboys fan. I said, dude, on defense, besides Michael Parsons and Diggs, who do y'all got? And he's like, dude, no one. He's like, they got Lawrence on the line, but he's getting old, so he's not as good as he once was. And then the thing with Parsons, all you gotta do is run to the opposite side of him, and you take out Parsons. Yeah. So you really just have Diggs, but. Parsons. lately hasn't done much either. But he is very quick. Like he rushes the quarterback, but like still, like it's not enough, man. Like the defense looks kind of bad right now.
Yeah, and Dallas can't run the ball. It looks like they don't have. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking about when bringing back Zeke. He's not that same player he was when he was first in Dallas. But yeah,
I guess it was one of those you never know, right?
yeah,
It was
but
one of those you never know. You got to try it out, and it didn't work. But they should have never gotten Zeke. They should have gotten Derrick Henry. I don't know why they didn't.
yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, they can't run the ball. So that's I guess that's why they're throwing the ball so much because they know they can't run the ball. Like 51 times.
Yeah, Dak throwing 51 times. I mean, that says you can't run the ball, or it says that you're playing from behind, which they did.
A little bit of both. Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, but I agree. Cowboys are kind of in that Bengals territory, and I think there might be in a little bit worse territory than the Bengals because
who?
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think they're in a little bit worse scenario. They will play the Giants this week, Thursday night. So
yeah, I'm gonna pull up some of the games too because I know there's some things I want to touch on.
Okay.
Let me see. So we touched Monday night. Oh, Chiefs Falcons. What do you think about that game?
I mean,
okay.
It's another Chiefs win. Like we talked about, Chiefs haven't looked dominant yet, but they didn't look dominant all last season until the playoffs. So again, until somebody beats the Chiefs in the playoffs, it's whatever. Chiefs are going to do what they do. They're going to make the playoffs and go from there. Because like I said, they didn't look great at the beginning of last season either. So,
yeah,
as long as they're pulling out these wins, man, I think that's all that matters for them at this point.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs got a good defense. I think once again the refs missed the call on that pass interference, but this one is not on the refs because the Falcons had another opportunity on the following drive. They had another opportunity and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
That
fourth down call was awful. Hold on, real quick.
Oh yeah. Hey Graham, go pack. Eric, we'll put you in the box, man. It's just that we're recapping the week real fast, and then we'll bring people up. So it might be a little bit later on the live.
But yeah, that fourth down call, the pitch though, it was like 4th and 1 or 4th and less than 1, whatever it was. That pitch to Bijan,
it was 4th and inches, and they run to the side instead of running down
like Bijan lost like 3 yards just to get it was crazy. Like, what are we doing? Yeah.
And like play calling too is something we should touch on too, because I think like with the whole Malik Willis and the Packers doing their thing, Caleb Williams not really looking good in Chicago right now. Is that really him? Is it really the coaching? Is it just because he's a rookie? I mean, like I think bad coaching is really starting to get exposed in the NFL as we continue, like over the years. Like back then, I think you could get away with bad coaching. But now, I mean, like you already hear the Eagles fans saying, Nick Sirianni, why are you going for it on 4th down in the first quarter? Like, it's so true, man. Like, that's bad coaching. And then you got the Falcons running to the outside instead of down the throat. That's not necessarily the worst call in the world, but I mean, I just don't see why you would run it to the outside. I mean, but we can touch on coaching here in a little bit. Another thing, what do you think about Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers finally getting their first win, man?
Hey, I mean, it kind of touches on the whole, like, our rookie or young QBs, the problem is coaching the problem. Andy Dalton steps into the offense and looks great. That's, to me, if you draft a young quarterback, I think I'm a believer in letting him sit a year or two. To me, we've just seen it so many times to where it's very rare that they just step in and do great.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah. I mean, but who else? I mean,
yeah, you're right. It's rare.
It's rare, right? At least, I mean, not saying that learning from Andy Dalton is like learning from Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Like, and then all the Packers quarterbacks that we have, right? It's like let him see the mistakes that those veteran type been in different system type quarterbacks, see what they do, see what mistakes they are making, see what's working, and then that way you can adapt it when you do eventually get into the game, because you are going to get into the game. Because if Andy Dalton was a franchise quarterback, he would still be on a single franchise. Now, he did good in Cincy for a minute, or okay in Cincy for a minute, but since then he's bounced around. So he's not going to be that franchise guy, right? But they look good. Like Andy, they look good.
Yeah, so it raises the question, and they're already asking this question. And for me, it's a little too early to ask it, but they're already asking, like, is Bryce Young the issue? For me, I think it could be, but it's too early to tell. It's way too early to tell. But I'm looking at some of these clips of Bryce Young, and whenever he throws a ball, like he has to jump to throw the ball. Like if you watch tape on him, he has to throw, like he jumps and throws the ball, kind of like if he has to look over his lineman.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, man, that's not ideal for a quarterback. So, and then I think Andy Dalton comes in and then they win. But before Andy Dalton came in, I can't even remember the last time the Panthers had a lead. I think it's been since like last year since they've had a lead, like mid last year. I don't know.
I can tell you, I already know exactly at this point in time when they had the lead. I think when we played them.
They led against us?
Huh?
They led against us? No.
Huh?
They didn't lead against us at all that game.
Are you sure? Because we made Bryce Young look.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I know, but like I don't think they led at all that game.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think we had the lead the whole time, but they came back. But they haven't had a lead. They haven't had a lead with Bryce Young, and I mean that as a player, as a fan, has to be depressing. Like playing all these games with like no leads. So I understand benching him. Like, yeah, you got to try something else. And then I think walking into Las Vegas to play the Raiders on the road, I don't think that's an easy task for Andy Dalton.
Oh, no.
Like, I mean, the guy showed up and put up 36 points. So you got to give props to Andy Dalton. He's definitely starting next week.
Oh yeah, he should start the rest of the season. Whether he does bad or good, he should start the rest of the season, in my opinion.
Before we touch on other games, did Trevor Lawrence get benched last night, or did they just take him off because they were getting pounded?
I think it was that. I think it was that they took him off because they were just getting beat so bad. No, I had turned that game off because it was so bad. So I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even know. But I would assume that it was because that they were getting beat so bad.
All right.
I'm gonna look at this.
What did you think about the Colts beating the Bears?
Predictable.
What do you think about Caleb Williams?
He just doesn't look good right now. I mean, I know he got his first
33 for 52, 363 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not.
It's not good.
That's not good.
The only thing that looks good on that is the 363 yards, but you threw the ball 52 times.
I know they threw it a lot,
yeah.
And that's the crazy part is Texans ran all over against Indianapolis. Green Bay ran all over against Indianapolis. Chicago can't run under Indianapolis because, I mean, why? They have DeAndre Swift. They have
their leading rusher was Johnson for 30 yards.
Yeah, so that's wild that you can't run against a team that's been ran on the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
and you make your rookie quarterback throw 50-something times.
I will say this though, I think Caleb Williams looks better than Anthony Richardson, man. Anthony Richardson, he didn't do great against Green Bay. he barely threw the ball against the Texans in week 1. Barely. I think he went 9 for 19. Like he only had 9 completions, but like some of them were bombs.
Yeah.
But this game he goes 10 for 20, 167 with 2 picks. Like dang, man. Oh, well, don't get me wrong, Bears D is good.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think Anthony Richardson's good either. But yeah, at least the Colts found something and stuck to it by running again. Because yeah, we all kind of all knew that the Bears defense is kind of like one of the top notch defenses in the league, right? I mean, we can kind of agree with that.
They're definitely top 10.
Yeah, for sure. Like they got a good defense. But again, it kind of goes back to that coaching. Like Indy kind of found out what they were doing, and because how many rushing yards did Jonathan Taylor have, or rushing attempts?
I actually saw the highlights to the game. He went off. Oh yeah, he went off 23 for 110 with 2 TDs.
Yeah, so carrying that many times, 23 carries, like you found something you found the recipe that was working that game. So
it has to be concerning for the Bears defense, though. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I mean,
it is Jonathan Taylor, though. I mean, he's not a scrub. He's a legit running back in this league. But I mean, if you just stop Jonathan Taylor, right, like you probably win the game.
Probably.
I think.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like I said, that game right there. I watched a little bit of this game. Yeah, it's just Caleb Williams. Again, he's not that guy yet. It might be because he's young, still learning. He'll get better, I think. But I think Eberflus has got to get fired sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I think Eberflus is awful for that Bears organization.
Yeah.
As a Packers fan, I love it because
they're gonna get rid of the coach before Williams because they just paid Williams. Like I think no quarterback comes into the draft getting 4 years for what do you get, 39 million?
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
Like no quarterback does that out of the draft. So that's the Bears saying we're investing in Caleb Williams regardless of what first year he has. Like what were you more surprised at? The Broncos upsetting the Bucks or the Vikings upsetting the Vikings upsetting the Texans? Which one?
To be honest with you, it was the Broncos upsetting the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I am still surprised that the Vikings like dominated the Texans. I had another TV going on.
Yeah, let me. Stroud didn't have a good game, right?
No. But neither did that offensive line.
Yeah,
they were so many penalties. I think they had like 4 or 5 penalties in a row that kept moving them back. Yeah, it was not good. But if you're telling me which game I'm more surprised about, is definitely the Broncos upsetting the Buccaneers.
I want to touch on the Broncos beating the Bucks because I think that's a bigger upset than the Vikings beating the Texans.
Yeah.
Well, technically they were both, or I don't know if it's an upset. Minnesota's undefeated. Texans were not undefeated, so I don't know if you can call that an upset. But
I mean, the spread was only 2.5.
In favor of who?
I think Minnesota. I think Minnesota was favored.
So they weren't. I guess it's not an upset then. Yeah. But
I think Minnesota was favored.
Yeah, the good thing the Texans got going for them, Stephon Diggs had a good game. He had 10 catches for 94 yards. They had no run game, though, the Texans. They had 0 run game in this game.
Yeah, because Joe Mixon was out. They have Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce out.
Yeah, on the flip side, Vikings, Aaron Jones, dude, looks good.
Yeah, we'll touch on it when we talk about the Packers, but about the Vikings. But, yeah, that Vikings team looks pretty good right now, man. I'm not going to lie.
They look good. They I was watching some sports channel earlier and they were praising both the Vikings and the Packers defense, which is something you rarely hear about. Like you don't hear a lot of people talking about the Packers defense or the Vikings defense.
Yeah.
But both defenses right now are looking very good. But yeah, we could definitely jump to
The Broncos
being the Bucks. I was a little shocked. I was a little shocked at how much they beat them by too. I was like, whoa, what happened there?
Yeah, yeah.
Bo Nix. What do you think about Bo Nix? You think he's a franchise quarterback?
He'll get there. I think he'll get there. He looked decent against the Buccaneers. Didn't throw a touchdown though. That's why I was like, how the heck did they beat him? He didn't throw a single touchdown pass.
He didn't turn the ball over either, though.
Did he run for one? Yeah, he did run for one.
Yeah,
It's like I thought I saw he scored a touchdown. He ran for one. Yeah, he didn't turn the ball over either. So that I guess that's all you'll take from your young quarterback is keeping your defense in the game, not turning the ball over, giving the other team short yardage. Yeah, that's crazy. And Baker, let's see, Baker 25 of 33, 163, a touchdown and an interception, and it didn't look too good.
Yeah, throwing like only having 163 yards when you throw the ball 33 times, that's definitely not good.
Yeah, that's only 4.9 yards a pass.
Yeah, so I guess that Broncos D came to play. I mean, the Bucks. I'm looking at their stats. They did run the ball okay. I mean, they ran for 90 something yards.
Yeah, 91 yards.
Not terrible.
Looks like they just couldn't get in the end zone.
Yeah.
They had an interception and then it looks like a fumble.
Yeah, Denver also was up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter too, so that might change your game plan a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only down 14 and you still got 3 quarters to go. But yeah, man, I was very impressed. I think that was like, whoa, like I did not see that coming. Definitely,
especially in Tampa. They went to Tampa and did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's definitely talk about this one. Eagles Saints, man.
Yeah. So this is what I think that we talked about it before we got on camera. This is one of the games that we kind of differed on. I think you had the Eagles.
Yeah, I had the Eagles.
I had the Saints.
I had it being a high-scoring game too, but
so I bet the over on this game, and looking at it was 3-0 all the way up till like the third quarter, I think it was, or fourth quarter, whatever it was. I was kind of like, well, that over is not hitting because the over was like at 50-something and a half points. Yeah, I thought the Saints were going to win. I thought they were rolling pretty hot, but the Eagles defense looked like they came to shut down Derek Carr and that team. Now, Eagles offense, Saquon looked pretty good against
he only ran the ball 17 times and he ran for 147.
Yeah.
But did you see on their last drive that long reception to Goddard?
Yeah.
Okay, they ran that against the Packers in Brazil, and it worked the same. Like it was a complete. But we ran it on our very first play against the Titans.
Yeah,
we ran the same exact play, and it goes for like 30 plus. When I saw that, I was like, man, that's a very good play call because like you make the 2 defenders bump into each other, and then like he's just off for the races. Like there's no one there, So I thought that is a good play call right there, and at the perfect timing too, man. So I gotta give props to their coordinator for that one. I think Goddard also went off. He had 10 catches for 170 yards.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts 311, 1 pick.
No touchdown passes. Yeah,
they even stopped Derek. Both quarterbacks didn't look too good.
Yeah, not really. 14 to 25. Derek Carr was 14 to 25, 142. Yeah, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
That ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah. They ran the ball a lot though. 26 times with Alvin Kamara, 87 yards. Only 87 yards though.
Yeah. I think anything under 4 a carry is not like as a defensive coordinator. I'm happy if you don't get 4 yards a carry. Like I can live with that.
Yeah.
Especially on your top running back. Like I can live with that.
Yeah, but this potential high scoring game was a 15-12 Eagles win, and I'm like, man, I still don't know what I feel about the Eagles or the Saints right now. Like I don't know.
Well, you got to give props to the Eagles. They scored all their 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like they didn't do jack shit first 3 quarters. So for them to come out and then pull out the win, that's kind of impressive.
Oh, no doubt, but I still don't know how I feel about them Like
They're the team. They're the team. Like if you bet on them to get to the playoffs, sure. But once they really get down to it, like crunch time, like grind time in the playoffs, I think they're very beatable. But that does not mean I don't think they're a good team. I think they are
oh
very.
no, I do agree that they're a good team.
Yeah.
I just don't know how. Like if I were to rank them, I don't know where I would like put them
Yeah.
in my ranking. Like right.
And why would you say that? Because of Jalen?
I don't know what they are. Like I don't know if they want to throw the ball or run the ball. Like what's their identity as an offense?
Well, they did both, man. I
I
mean,
know, but and they only put up 15 points. So like you throw the ball 38 times, you run it seven. Well, if you combine Jalen's little rushes too, 25 times. Like what are you like?
well, like the Packers game was going on while this game was going on. So I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. But
Yeah, I had it on a split screen, but I didn't get the.
from what I heard, they were moving the ball, but then they would turn it over at the end. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I heard. I would have to watch the highlights on the game. I'm not sure, but supposedly they were moving the ball. It's just they would like, and I think it was Jalen. Dude, Jalen was making.
Yeah, he has a fumble. He has an interception and a fumble.
Yeah, so they
Because
did move the
me
ball.
going into the season, I would think Saquon, like that's going to be your identity is run the ball, do almost what Lamar and they do, or what we thought they were going to do in Baltimore with Derrick Henry. Is like a lot of option reads and stuff like that. I thought there was going to be a lot more of that, but they do have. It seems like they have Jalen dropping back a lot more than what I thought. So I guess that's what I mean by like what is their identity. But like I said, I don't know what it is about them that I can't put like, are they top 5 team, top 3 team? I don't know.
I think if Saquon stays healthy, they're going to be hard to beat. Well, not necessarily good. They're going to be hard to beat, but they're going to be in every game as long
Oh,
as
yeah.
Saquon
Okay.
stays
I can see that. I can see
healthy.
that.
I don't see them getting blown out a lot.
I can see that.
I'll say that.
Okay.
I don't know why we should touch on this game, but for some reason I feel like we should. Um, More impressed with the Giants winning or the Browns losing to the Giants?
This is another game I had put a bet on and lost miserably.
I think everyone put a bet on the Browns.
I mean, they were minus 6.5. I was like, oh, they're gonna beat them by a touchdown easily.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the Browns are more disappointing in this game. Daniel Jones seemed like he looked, or from what I didn't watch this game either, so I saw a lot of tweets. And apparently, Daniel Jones was looking like Daniel Jones, or like not like Daniel Jones, but better than normal Daniel Jones, I should say. He was 24 or 34, 236, and 2 TD passes. Malik Neighbors, their first round draft pick, got 2 of those 2 touchdown or both touchdown passes. Sorry. I think the Browns are awful, man. Deshaun, 21 of 37, 196. He threw 2 touchdowns, but yeah, I don't know. They're not. At what point do they have to go to Jameis Winston?
They're already calling for him, like the fans.
Yeah,
like, they're already calling for him.
Yeah. I don't know what – I mean, ever since Deshaun got to Cleveland, he's not what he was in Houston. Now, there's outside circumstances and stuff, but –
I mean, Deshaun Watson was 21 for 37, 196, 2 touchdowns. That's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
They only ran the ball, it looks like
18 times.
16, like over 60 yards.
Yeah, 69 yards.
That's not great. Amari Cooper went off. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But no, I think I like Neighbors. I really like Malik Neighbors. He looks good, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's part of the reason why the Giants won.
Yeah. My thing is only putting 15 points up against that Giants defense. Okay, you gave up 21 points, but only putting up 15 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have the Giants winning along with the rest of America, but
and who knows, maybe if and when Nick Chubb does get back, they look a little different. I don't know. I mean, but that's if and when he does get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we can before we jump into the Packers, I think we got 2 people on TikTok that want to join. You want to bring them up, see what they got to say, and then we'll jump into the Packers.
That's fine.
All right, let's see. That's if they're still here. Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, how's it going, dude?
Good. Can you hear him, Andrew, or no?
Yeah, I can hear him. I got him.
Yeah. What's up, man? What you want to say?
I just hear you guys talking about the Browns. I think what Deshaun Watson really needs to get back on his game is just a quick massage or something, a little back rub, and he'll be back right in it,
Yeah. Who's your favorite team?
Oh, I'm a Green Bay Packer fan all day.
Nice,
I've been a Packer fan for about 10, 15 years now, something like that.
Nice. Do you live in Wisconsin?
I live in Minnesota, so a little controversial, but
okay. Right. Cool. What do you think about the game this week?
Honestly, I mean, it really hurts to say it. It stings, but I think the Vikes are going to come out on top. Sam Dalton's looking, hotter than any QB right now in the league, no one expected him to come out here. I think a lot of guys had the Vikings under 5 wins on the season. Come out 3-0, destroy the Niners, destroy the Texans, and they're looking really good.
You got them winning even if Love comes back?
Yeah, for sure. If I was in LaFleur's position, I'd say you'd sit Love for a week longer. Just, I don't know if you want to have him playing that Vikings defense with the knee out. He's probably going to get hit 4 or 5 times at minimum. And I don't know if it's really worth the risk. You got a lot of season left, and Malik looks really good, so I don't think it's worth the risk.
Yeah, I agree with the risk. I think if the Packers sat out Love and went with Malik and then they dropped to the Vikings, I would be okay with that because it's a long season. I still think the Packers would be able to win the division. But I have a question because you say you think the Vikings will come out on top. So as a Packers fan, are you still not believing in the defense, or do you just think the Vikings are that good?
I think the Vikings are firing on too many cylinders right now for the Pack to really squeak it out. I like Alexander Jair. I can't pronounce his first name, but I think the defense has got some stuff cooking up. I don't know with Justin Jefferson. He's gonna take a lot of the attention away from our defensive guys, and I think a good coach is just gonna throw it to the other side of the field and put up 21-10 probably.
Okay. You got anything to say to that, Andrew?
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not mad at. I get it. Minnesota is, like you said, is clicking on all cylinders right now. I do agree with that. It's going to be a tough game. I do with Hafley's defense though. What I've been noticing, Jair's most likely going to be on Justin Jefferson, whereas in Joe Barry's defense, he played on one side of the field, right? So I think that will help out a lot. This is a big if, but if we can get pressure on Sam Darnold, and I guess this is every week thing that you could say this to somebody's quarterback, I think we'll make Sam Darnold look like what we thought Sam Darnold was.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about that Vikings D more than the Vikings offense. If I'm being honest, I think the Vikings defense is very underrated. I think they've been playing very good. I'm not saying their offense isn't good because just like Zach said, it is clicking. It is clicking. But, I know it's the Titans, but we just put up 8 sacks against the Titans. We had a pick 6. We had a turnover ratio of +3. We are getting after every offense that we've played so far. Even the Eagles, we got after their offense. So if the Vikings do pull it out, I don't think it's going to be smooth sailing for them. They're going to have to find a way to win. I don't think they're just going to walk into Lambeau and be like, "Oh, boom, here we're walking out with the win." No.
Now, let me ask you the same question: do you feel the same way if Malik plays over Jordan, or do you think the Vikings might be a little bit better if Malik plays?
I think if Malik plays, because if we're going to say the Vikings are clicking, you definitely got to say LaFleur and Malik are clicking. So
right.
I think Malik can beat the Vikings. It's just going to be his biggest challenge, though. It's definitely his biggest challenge by far. But the good thing is he'd have the home field advantage. He'll have more chemistry with the offense. So, but like I said, I think it's going to come down to the Packers offense against the Vikings defense more than the Vikings offense against our defense.
Yeah. So I do agree with Zach. It's an interesting take from Zach. Then it's kind of I do kind of agree with it that maybe just sit Jordan another week, kind of let him go. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Jordan loves playing this week. And I'm fine with that too. I am fine with that. Knowing the history of our medical staff and stuff like that, I feel like we're one of the more cautious teams of bringing players back. So if they say he's ready and he feels he's ready, then I'm 100% confident that he'll be ready to go. So either way, like I said, I do like that take with about maybe resting him one more week. But I have a good feeling that just how close he was, it seemed like, to playing this past week. I mean, they brought it all the way up to like dang near game time decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's playing this week though.
And then I'll let Zach touch up on any last thing he wanted to say. But another thing I will say is, as far as the Vikings being the Packers, you got to understand, like, even if that offense goes off, their defense still has to stop loving the Packers. If they don't stop loving the Packers, I mean, good luck trying to win. So that's why I'm saying, like, I personally think it's more about our offense against their defense than our defense against their offense. But I'll go ahead and let Zach say anything. What do you got to respond to that, man?
Yeah, no, I think you guys are making some great points here. I think we're just forgetting like one key thing that is going to have a big time narrative coming up this Sunday, and that's what's on Aaron Jones' shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Does this guy have a chip, or does he not have a chip on his shoulder about leaving Green Bay and going right to our number one rival? And you can't deny it. The Vikings are the number one rival for Green Bay, and he's coming to Lambeau Field. First game since being traded away, and he hasn't been doing great. I mean, he doesn't look like the Aaron Jones. I've been watching the Vikings every week. He doesn't look like the Aaron Jones we traded away. So does this guy got something to prove coming back to Green Bay and being like, hey, everybody, listen, I can catch 2 touchdowns and rush for a touchdown or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
What about him? You got to remember him.
Yeah. I think the Packers on defense, number one thing, I think they're going to want, if the Vikings are going to beat the Packers defense is going to want Sam Darnold to beat them, not Aaron Jones. So I really do think they're going to focus on shutting down the run, which leads me to a question, because I know you said you got the Vikings winning. If they do shut down the run, do you still think Sam Darnold goes off on our defense?
100%. I mean, the run's been all but shut down in terms of Aaron Jones for the last 3 weeks. I mean, what does this guy have? Has he rushed for 100 yards?
Yeah,
he rushed for 100 against the Texans.
Yeah, he went over 100 against the Texans, and he had a receiving touchdown as well, I think.
All right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, so look, he got hot last week. I mean, I wasn't too impressed with the Texans overall last week. So I don't really know if that's a feather in Aaron Jones' cap or if that's something else. But I mean, I don't think he's been a key asset to their game plan. I think it's made defenses think a little more, but I think Sam Darnold has won every single game they've played so far.
Yeah, so this week against Texans, he did go off. Week 2, I think he only had 9 carries for like 30-something yards. I think he only averaged a little over 3 a carry. But in week 1, he had 94 yards on the ground and 1 touchdown on just 14 carries. That's 6.7 a carry. So, I mean, he did have a good week 1 too. So, I mean, but yeah, I definitely think the Packers are telling them, like, they're in that locker room and in that study room, they're telling each other, like, we're not going to let Aaron Jones run all over us. Like, I mean, if he does, props to Aaron Jones, but I just see us like, hey, that's one of the main things, shut down Aaron Jones.
How do y'all think the crowd welcomes back Aaron Jones? Is it cheers or boos?
Cheers. It has to be cheers.
You got to cheer the guy.
Yeah.
I just don't like that he's trying to bring the big fold into Minnesota. Did you guys hear about that?
He's trying to bring what?
He's trying to bring the Lambeau Leap to Minnesota.
Oh.
He's calling it the big fold.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
you still got to cheer on the guy when he comes back, standing ovation for sure. But that kind of sucks.
Yeah, for sure. I think there was actually no, he's not on here anymore. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? We're actually gonna jump into the Titans Packers game. Did you want to stay for that? Hear your thoughts on the game?
No, I'm all good, guys. Thanks. Just wanted to talk for a little bit, and I'll try to sit around and watch. But good talk, guys.
Yeah, man, for sure, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, later. I'm so new to this. I don't know how to take them off.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, do I have to leave, or does he boot me out?
Oh, I got it. All right. So yeah, man. Thank you, Zach, for coming up, man. I'm a little shocked that you think the Vikings are gonna win, though.
I mean, I'm not.
It is gonna be a challenge. It is gonna be our biggest challenge. Well, actually, the Eagles were our biggest challenge week 1, but
well, now I think this is going to be the so far. I mean, if we're looking, I mean, I know hindsight's 2020, but right now this is going to be the Packers' biggest challenge because
I heard people saying like this has potential to be game of the year. I don't know.
I have us, like I said, if Jordan Love plays, I think I have us winning at home. Now, if this was in Minnesota, I might be more leaning towards what Zach's leaning towards is I don't know, man.
Well, and another reason why I think the Vikings are going to have trouble with us is, dude, Malik. Well, Jair had a pick 6, but if you take that away, Malik put up 23. Malik. So what Love's just going to be put up more. I mean, you know, the offense is going to move a lot more with Jordan Love at the
but we got to take into consideration this Vikings defense. I think this Vikings defense is up there, top tier.
I think Titans defense is underrated too. Or
I mean, they are, but
Vikings are better. Vikings are better.
Vikings are up there, right? Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and get into that Titans game?
Yeah. So let's jump into the Titans game. I'm using my phone for TikTok, so I can't read what I wrote you.
Yeah, I got you. So we'll start on, since we've been talking about the defense, we'll start on the defensive side of the ball. I think you had mentioned it to Zach. Packers D pressure on Levis, 8 sacks and holding rushing to only 33 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Titans offensive line is awful too. I had a buddy.
They are the youngest. I think they're the youngest offensive line in the league, but they have a good offensive line coach. That's why I'm not letting them off the hook and saying, oh, they don't have a good offensive line. They have a good coach. They're just very young. And I mean, even then, you still got to beat the lineman to get to the quarterback. Like, if you look at Kingsley, did you see his move on that lineman when he missed the fumble? Dude, that's a nice move, man. And I love seeing that. But I want to touch on the sacks real fast. 8 sacks in one game. We haven't done that since 2005. We haven't done that since 2005. And the number one thing I like about this defense, we never took our foot off the gas. Never. If you give Joe Barry the lead that we had, what does he do? He starts playing conservative, right? And maybe Levis makes a comeback or makes it close, right? But not Hafley. Hafley's like, no, I'm still gonna come after you. I'm gonna make you like we're gonna come after you. We're gonna sack you. We're gonna cause commotion. Like, it's not gonna be, oh, okay, we're up. We're just gonna drop back and let you make these easy completions. Like, no, Hafley didn't do that, man. And that's what I love seeing. And I think what a great defense does that I observe, a great defense will let the offense march on them on the very first drive, touchdown, which Levis did do to us. But what did we do after that? We settled down. And we were dominant the rest of the game. I think that's what great defenses do. That's why, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't think Sam Darnold is going to have a great game. I mean, he might have his time against us this week, but I do think this is a much improved Packers defense.
For sure.
The turnovers is insane. The turnovers are insane. You're seeing like people getting like just making plays. And the thing I like about Hafley said, the thing I like about Hafley is he said he's not afraid to tell Matt LaFleur anything. And I like that because, like, I think as a defensive player, like, for example, I don't know if you saw in this game, but it was 4th and 6 around midfield. What did Matt LaFleur do? He took a delay of game and punted it. Last year, he would have gone for it, turned the ball over, and give the defense a short field, right? But now he's punting the ball away. So what does that tell you about Matt LaFleur? It tells you that he trusts this defense. He's like, okay, I don't need to go for it on 4th down. Like, let me punt the ball away, let my defense play D. And we are. But like, I like that we're playing smart football too, right? Like, we're playing very smart. Like, LaFleur back then would have gone for it on 4th down when we didn't need to. This year, he's punting the ball away. Like, he's trusting his defense, and he's setting up his defense for success. Because when you punt the ball away and you pin them inside the 20, it's a lot harder for that offense to drive all the way down instead of you turning it over at midfield and then one completion and they're in field goal range. So, like, I do like that the Packers is playing smart football. They're playing good defense. And Matt LaFleur is in his bag, bro. With this offensive play calling, he's in his bag. So I do think Matt LaFleur is becoming a better coach. I think Hafley is bringing a different energy to this defense. And I'll let you touch on the game now, and I'll let you go.
Yeah. So, no, all your points are spot on. Like, right. I totally agree with everything you said. The one criticism I will have from our defense, man, our linebackers, man. I know you talked about that first drive, letting them go down and doing it. All those, I think all the 3 big plays that they had were on one of our linebackers, Wilson, Quay, McDuffie.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be our weak spot in our defense. Just looking at it overall. Now, I don't know, like, we don't know the calls. We don't know if Quay was in the right position, but it always seemed like he was a step too slow. Not like he would almost be there.
Who we talking about, Quay?
Quay, yeah. Quay. Like I said, Wilson too, McDuffie a couple times, but Quay is our starting linebacker. Like, he has to be, I hate to say better, because he played a good, like, after that first drive, he played a good game. But it just seems like there's always moments in games this season so far that it's like, man, he's a step too slow, or he's just slightly maybe out of position or something. So I think as good as our defense is, and this right now it's dominant. I'm happy with this defense. Like you said, Hafley's sending pressure. He's not backing down. He's not playing off soft, even if we're up late in the 4th. He's sending that pressure. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like I mentioned, he's putting Jair on the best wide receiver in the game, not making him play side, like left side or right side, whatever the case may be. So I love it. Like I said, my only concern is, like, we got to do something about that linebacker, like the middle line, like either – I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, because we're not going to get anybody new. But
I think Quay was a big red flag in week 1 and 2. I think week 3, I think he showed improvement. But yes, you're right. Quay, I'm okay with that criticism, because Quay has looked bad. If you look at that, if you look at week 2 when Richardson had 4th and 11 and he scrambled for the first down, that's on Quay. Quay took a bad angle towards Richardson and he rushed for 11 yards. Like, that can't happen, man.
Yeah,
it can't happen. And that's a lot of the criticism on Quay is his angles to the ball. But I will say this too, and this goes back to giving praise to Jeff Hafley. When the Titans went for it on 4th and 2 right out of halftime, right? Remember, like, he ran the play action and he wanted to go in the flat, but it was covered, right?
Yeah.
And then he tries running it, and Quay was there and made the stop. So, like, that's a very good play by Quay. But I'm also very impressed with Hafley, because with Joe Barry, that's an easy first down. That flat is not covered with Joe Barry's defense. But Hafley is smart, man. He knew. He's like, okay, they might try to run in the flat, make sure it's covered. And it was. And Will Levis had no other option but to run it. And then Quay and McDuffie were there. And I'm like, dude, that's so good defense, man. It's such smart defense. Like, I think, and also you gotta give props to the players, because they're really starting to be disciplined. Like, you see a lot more discipline too. Like, and I'll start off with Malik Willis. Like, he doesn't try to do too much, man. He just goes to the receiver that the defense gives them, right? Like, I mean, like, he's doing, and that's all you got to do. Like, if I'm being honest with you, I think Will Levis would be a better quarterback if he would just not try to do too much. If he would just do what the defense gives him, I think Will Levis would be pretty decent. But I think he's going to grow into that. I know he's in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll grow into that. But like, dude, like smart football, disciplined football, smash mouth defense. Like, dude, like I'm loving everything I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm happy. Once we signed Halfley and kind of knew what kind of scheme he was going to bring to Green Bay, I was all for it, man. One high safety a lot of times. Let your corners and your DBs kind of make plays, in which we have the talent to do so. I feel like we can stop saying like Joe Barry wouldn't do that. Like Joe Barry's wouldn't do half of the stuff Halfley's doing right now. Joe played off way too much, trying to make tackles, and Halfley's like, no, we're gonna be in your face type football, and like almost like you said, smash mouth football. So like I said, that was my only criticism of the defense, and it's probably going to be the only criticism going forward. Now we'll see once we start playing these better teams and stuff like that, how the DBs actually stack. Like, how does Jair stack up against Justin Jefferson? Like Justin, I feel like has had his share of it. Jair's have his share of it, so that's going to be.
Remember, hold on. Let's see something. Hey, Gilbert, can you hear us? Okay. Some guy wanted to join, so I was going to bring him up, but I guess he's not there no more. Remember, I don't think it was last year, but the year before that, we played Minnesota week 1, and Jefferson just went off on us.
Yeah.
But then they came into Lambeau later on in the year, and what did Joe Barry do? He put Jair on Jefferson and bumped him all game long. And I think Jefferson had maybe 2 catches for 15 yards that game.
Yeah.
What do you think Jeff Halfley's going to do? The first one or the second one? He's gonna
he's gonna do this. Like I said, as we've seen it so far, like Jair's been on the best receiver of each team. So, and that's what you should do. Like I don't understand the whole concept of not having your best cornerback not on the best receiver, just depending on where they line up. That doesn't make sense. But
yeah. And not all game long, but if you observe Jair throughout the games, you'll see him bumping. You'll see him bumping the receiver.
Oh, yeah.
In the time. So, but like under Joe Barry, he was like what 8 yards off.
Well, they all were. They all were.
Yeah, they all were. And like, I mean, that's just not going to get it done.
Yeah.
And the fact that we almost got it done, that just tells you how good LaFleur is, right? Like he didn't really have any help from Joe Barry, yet you're still right there. You're still right there. So I think LaFleur is, and I wanted to see if you agreed with this, because this was my thing too. Because I see a lot of people finally giving Matt LaFleur his flowers, right? But they were saying like back then they were very critique about Matt LaFleur. And I'll be honest, I was too. Like, I think when we played the Bucks in the NFC Championship and lost, and then I think the following year we played the San Francisco and we lost 13-10. I think during those years, I don't think Matt LaFleur was equipped to win a Super Bowl. Like, I don't think so. I think he is growing into what he needs to be now.
So I'll fight back on that a little bit. I think it looks like it is now, is because he actually has the system that he wants in now. Before, he had somebody else.
Offensively or defensively?
Offensively. 12. We're talking about 12. Kind of still running the offense.
Okay.
Right? Like, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Like, Aaron was still running that offense. Like, Matt was calling plays, but you can definitely go back and watch film. There was times Aaron's changing plays all the time. So I think Matt LaFleur, with starting fresh with Jordan Love last year, he kind of finally can go into his bag and do what he wants, because he has this young quarterback and not this old veteran Hall of Fame type quarterback that wants to do it his way. Yeah. So as much as I am an Aaron Rodgers fan, I'll say I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. Aaron Rodgers fan, I'm kind of glad we did this party. Now, I wish he would have just retired and been a Packer. Would have been cool, but I guess he still wanted to play. Fine. But I think to show how good Coach Matt LaFleur is, Aaron Rodgers had to leave Green Bay, which he did. And so now everybody's saying, like, oh, Matt LaFleur can actually coach, right? So I think that's that was part of it, was he wasn't in his bag too much because Aaron Rodgers was still at the helm and still kind of almost calling shots there, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah. I kind of want to touch a little on the pass rush of the Packers. One thing I've noticed, I think this goes back to Hafley too, and I don't know if you heard them during the game, but they said what Jeff Hafley, the type of defensive coordinator he is that he's gonna want his players to play all out, and if someone is not playing all out, he's gonna take them out and find someone else that can.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that, man. I really like that. If you look at the pass rush, he had Preston, Rashawn Gary, but he was rotating them out, man. Like you saw Lucas rotating in, you saw Kingsley.
Yeah, fresh
like,
legs, man.
Fresh legs, man. And then Barry didn't really do a lot of that. When Barry was here, it was a lot of Preston and Rashawn Gary, and that's it. You see Lucas come in, get a snap every now and then. But like it wasn't a lot of rotating fresh, like you said, fresh legs. And I wanted to ask you, do you feel like that had a part of the 8 sack day? Did that play a role, rotating people in?
I mean, it definitely had a part of it. How big of a part? I don't know. I think they still would have got it if they didn't rotate. I mean, like I said, I had a buddy over that is a Titans fan, and he goes, "Yeah, our offensive line has been kind of struggling for the past year or two." So I was like, "Oh, okay." But it definitely didn't hurt like having fresh legs, and then you also get to see other people that we've been wanting to see, like Van Ness. Like we've been wanting to see him get after the quarterback, and in Joe Barry's defense, we hardly got to see it. So, and we always thought maybe they're just trying to slowly bring him along, but it's like no, like he just didn't do it for whatever reason.
I like Van Ness, man.
Yeah.
I like him, dude. He's gonna be a good player, dude.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Xavier McKinney because 3 picks, 3 games. Like I love having a good safety. Like I don't think we haven't had a good safety since Nick Collins. Well, I guess you can argue Micah Hyde was good. I think you can argue Micah Hyde was good. But I think Nick Collins was more at Xavier McKinney's level. But like here's another stat I want to throw your way about Xavier McKinney. 3 picks, 3 games, but also only 2 catches allowed all season.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta love that, dude.
Yep. I mean, to be honest, he could be early. He's early for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, you get 3 interceptions in 3 games. I mean, I know like that's crazy.
They were talking about that. They said, how many picks does he need to get to win Defensive Player of the Year? And they were joking around. They said 17 because they believe Watt from the Steelers has it hands down.
Hands down. I mean, and it could be. He could be because he's so dominant. But it's just if he gets another one this weekend and has 4 and 4 games, that's why we have to start looking at when's the last time somebody's gotten this many interceptions in so many games in a row, right? Because I don't know that stat off the top of my head. But yeah, McKinney, great Gutekunst with a great all-season sign. Because you know how Packers hardly sign free agents. We try to build through the draft, but this was a beautiful sign by him.
Yeah. I like how you bring up Gutekunst. Got to give him his flowers too, man. He only gave up a 7th round pick from Malik Willis. Like that's insane. That is like these. Everyone on the Packers front office coaching staff right now, dude, they're just in their mother effing bag, dude. Like, I try to ask myself, what was the issue before? Like, why couldn't you do it? Like you said, maybe it was because the system with Aaron Rodgers. I can see that. But I just like that they got it now. And the good thing about having it now, Andrew, 49ers are 1-2. Eagles are not looking too good.
There's a lot of injuries still in the NFL too. So
yeah, we're staying healthy. That's what I like too. Because man, last year was very bad when it came to injuries. I think even the year before that was bad.
Yeah, but next thing we talked about the defense. Let's talk about a little bit about the offense. Yeah. Willis puts up 30 points on the Titans. Or Willis puts up 20.
Puts up 23.
23, yeah, not 30. But he looked good, man. I'm very like the long bomb to Christian Watson. let your receiver go up and get it. I like it. I liked it. I like the game. Again, I like the game plan for this game. They opened, and what did we say? He's going to get anywhere between 15 to 20 throws. I think he had 19.
Yeah.
I think he had 19 attempts or something like that.
Yeah. He wasn't afraid to throw it all game long.
Yeah.
He was slinging it downfield. Now, there was times, like, I think towards the end, like, he threw one up to Wicks. I mean, Wicks couldn't even see the ball. But still, like, I like the confidence in Willis. That like, I'm okay with that incompletion, you know?
Yeah.
Like I like the confidence. Like, that's Willis saying, like, hey, I can play quarterback, man. I could play quarterback. So what else did you want to touch on the offense? Because I wanted to touch on the offense too.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah. So goes back to Matt LaFleur, giving Matt LaFleur the flowers. I liked that he knew, and it just goes back to how smart LaFleur is becoming. He knew that the Titans' number one goal was to stop the run. So what does he do? He comes out. Not only does he pass, he fakes the run.
Mm-hmm.
He fakes the run to one side and then has Jaden Reed coming on the other side. Such a wonderful play call, man, to start out the game. Why? 30-yard gain, and you got Malik Willis saying, I can do this, man.
Yeah.
Boom. And then you just saw the confidence flowing because he throws it up to Watson a few plays later. Like, and that was a good throw. And what did I tell you, man? One-on-one with Watson, I think on week 1, I told you, just let him go get it. Yeah. Let him go get it. And that's exactly what he did. Got to give flowers to the wide receivers. Dude, they can block, bro. They can block. And I wanted to ask you this too. Do you love how unselfish our offense is? It's so unselfish that these wide receivers can have 0 catches and they're still happy. And they're still out there playing hard, blocking. Like, dude, it's fun to watch.
Not having that quote unquote guy number 1 receiver, I think is a benefit right now. Like, we don't have that one guy that's wanting the ball all the time. They're doing anything to win the game, and including blocking, right? What last week Christian Watson had 0 receptions, 0 targets, but he blocked his ass off last week.
Yeah.
Same thing this week, right? This offense, like you said, Matt LaFleur is in his bag. I agree that play call was brilliant. I kind of thought they were going to do play action deep bomb to Watson on the first play. I was telling my buddy that I was watching the game with, I was like, watch deep bomb to Watson right here, play action. Of course, it was play action to Reed cutting across for still 30-yard gain, but I was like, but the Titans did kind of try to shut down the run game because you can see Jacobs wasn't, or at least in the inside, we couldn't run up the middle at all that game. All our runs had to go towards the edges. So,
yeah, I agree. Matt LaFleur was in his bag. I think another wonderful play call was his touchdown to Wilson. He has everyone thinking that the play's going to go one side, and then he dumps a screen to the other side of the field to Wilson, and it's just wide open. I think all he had to do was make one person miss, and it was game over. Touchdown. Yeah. The only critique, and it's a small critique, the only critique I'll have on Matt LaFleur in this game is I think he should have stopped running up the middle one drive before he made the adjustment. But I am okay with it because I think he just wanted to, can I really not run up the gut? I think and then I think he tried it again and he realized, okay, I can't run up the gut. But it goes back to like how great LaFleur is becoming. Back then he wasn't making adjustments. Now he's like, okay, I'm not going to get away from the run game, but I'm going to run to the outside. And then like he did it. You have success. And then at the end, when the Titans are worn down, that's when he was running it up the middle and he was having success. So like it's very good. I would just like to see him make that adjustment one drive before, especially against a good team. You might need to make it one drive before. But the fact that he made the adjustment, and I mean, we still ran for what, over 100? We ran for 188.
Yeah, because we had like 5 people carry the rock.
I mean,
Malik was the highest rusher with 73 yards. So,
but see, a lot of Malik's runs were to the outside.
Yeah,
I think all of them were to the outside.
Yeah.
So like I like that LaFleur can. Okay, I see what they mean by like no one runs on the tight ends, but I'm still gonna run the ball. I'm just gonna figure out how to do it. And he did, dude. He did. He figured out how to do it. And I wanted to ask you this though, because I'm really, as a Packers fan, we haven't had this. We haven't had an athletic quarterback. We've had, I mean, it's not, we haven't had like a bad athletic quarterback either. I'm just saying we've never had like a Mike Vick, is what I'm saying.
Like we haven't had a quarterback like that can run like this.
Right. So and I remember I told you, I don't know if it was last week or week one, I told you I love athletic quarterbacks. I do. I like them. Let me ask you this. Do you still think Malik Willis goes 2-0 if he's not athletic?
No.
I don't either.
I think utilizing his legs as well has helped him.
Dude, it's wonderful because as a defense, you have another thing to worry about. And like I think Malik, I think the two things that help the Packers go 2-0 with Malik Willis is Malik's athletic ability, Malik's discipline, and our defense. Mm-hmm. Our defense. I would even argue that we're not 2-0 if Joe Barry's calling the defensive plays.
Oh yeah, no.
So I mean, like all the changes we needed to make, we did, right? Yeah. And then I think at the top of the list, you got to give Gutekunst, man, like all the praise because without that Malik Willis trade, I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah, like Sean Clifford. Well, can he do that? Would we be 2-0 with Sean Clifford?
He ain't moving. He ain't moving like Willis is moving.
No, doubt it. But yeah, going back to the offense, you were talking about critiquing the offensive stat. I do want to go back to that too, or team overall, because I don't know what all these penalties were for. Penalties, man. I feel like, 10 for 75. Like we're getting better.
10?
We had 10 penalties. Yeah,
that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, we're getting better though. Like I think the week before was even more, if not. Yeah, 10 penalties, for 75 yards, and my man Rasheed Walker, left tackle. Yeah. Good Lord, I think a lot of them were him.
Yeah, Jenkins didn't look good either.
Yeah, Jenkins was another one too. Yeah. He had a few back-to-back holding calls on him. Mm-hmm. If we clean that up just a little bit, we'll be that much better. I feel like.
Yeah, and the thing that sucks about that, those holding calls, Andrew, Josh Jacobs went 14 for 43. That should have been more. It should have been more.
Yeah, but, I want to say it was a lot of it was that first drive, or maybe first two drives. If I'm
towards the end, I think even towards the end, he went off for like 30+ yards and it got called back. Yeah. So that 14 for 43 for 3.1. I know it doesn't look good, but it should have been more.
Yeah. So gotta clean, and then let's look at basic stuff. Clean that up. I wonder if this is correct. This is saying that the Titans only had 2 penalties.
Yeah. Oh, yes. But one of them was so crucial, that field goal.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what, Andrew? I want to touch on that real fast.
Yeah.
Okay, let's touch on that real fast. Because
we're talking about Narveson?
Yes. No, well, yes, Narveson. But, okay, so if you look at the stats, it says Narveson went 3 for 3. He should have been 2 for 3. Yeah. Because on that, they got called for a holding. How do you get called for a holding, man? Like that was sad. Yeah. But he missed it. Right. My question to so, I mean, 3 for 3, but it should have been like he's missing 1 field goal a game, right? That's what it should be. So I wanted to ask you, when do you start holding Rich accountable, our special teams coordinator?
I mean, you have to. I mean, we talked about this last year as well. Like,
I don't feel like he's getting heat, and I feel like he should.
Yeah, he should. Now, it's been talked about that he is the assistant head coach as well. So, I don't know what that entails as far as more duties. Mm-hmm. So, is he being assistant head coach? Are you going into more duties and not really like? Is your special team duties coming down, right? So, I don't know how that. To be honest, I'm not 100% how that works, but. We got to start looking at them like, hey man, like your special teams hasn't been the greatest the past few years, and not just field goals, but we haven't our punt coverage, our kickoff coverage hasn't been the greatest.
Yeah,
until we found Keyshawn, our punt returners weren't doing really nothing. So it's like Yeah, I agree. At what point do we hold him accountable?
Yeah, I definitely want to touch on that, but hold on, we got a guest. What's up, Jake? I think you're unmuted. Hey, what's up, Jake? Oh, never mind. I don't know what happened there, to be honest. But okay, so let's go back to the special teams. Um, yeah, I think he deserved because Carlson hasn't signed anywhere, but I think Joseph has. I think he went to the Giants. So I mean, the fact that because I wanted to look at that too. I was like, okay, if Carlson signed somewhere and Joseph signed somewhere, then maybe they weren't the issue, right? But I think right now Carlson doesn't have a home, and I think Joseph is on a practice squad with the Giants. No, he's on the active roster, I think.
Is he? I knew he got signed somewhere. I just didn't know if he was still.
I think he's on the active roster. So I'm like, like I don't know if we got to start throwing some blame at Rich because, like I said, I like Nardison. I do. Like I think the guy has a leg. I think if there's a 65-yarder and like it's the end of the game, I'm throwing him out there to make that kick. I'm not throwing a Hail Mary. I'm throwing Nardison out there. But I mean, like I said, like we talked about this last week, like missing one field goal every game is not going to cut it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even if the Packers were to go on and win the Super Bowl, but Nardison makes one kick, I mean, guess what? Like his job is on the line for next year. Like I don't think LaFleur is going to be like, oh, we won the Super Bowl, I'm letting that go. Like I don't think that would happen. So
I think our standards are really low right now because he hasn't missed an extra point. Right? Last year we were
good. I think that is priority number one, right?
Yeah. So I think that's what it is as right now is like, yeah, he missed one, but he made 2 or 3, and he made all his extra points. Like last year, we were holding our breath on extra points, right? So I think our standards are really low as far as it comes back, as far as fans. Now, again, at what point do we say, okay, hey man, you missed at least one field goal for the past 5 weeks? Do we start to say, hey, what's going on? And they're all like, if you notice, all his kicks are wide right. He's missed wide right every time.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's I'm sure it's a mechanic thing, but I mean, yeah,
3 for 3, and his long was a 47. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, on the stat sheet, it's not bad, but yeah.
You know, we don't really give, and I'm gonna do this right now. We don't give our punter flowers. Like no one gives their punter flowers, but man, Dan Whelan, I'm liking him, dude.
Yeah, he's been kicking his butt off this past few weeks, man.
Yeah, he had 5 points. I'll be honest, the offense was so good, I didn't even know he had 5 points.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that when you just said that 5 punts, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I got another critique about the offense. It's more of a player. I think it was one player on the offense that, man, kind of didn't look like himself like last year, man. Musgrave did not look good. Like there were some times where like he was getting banged around, man, and like where he was supposed to be blocking, and like you know, you see Kraft out there like boom, 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 and then Musgrave goes out there and he's getting pushed back.
Yeah,
and I'm like, ooh, man, like
I was again telling my buddy this. Tucker Kraft is tight end 1.
Oh yeah.
Last year it was Musgrave, and then Tucker Kraft kind of slid in there a few times. There's no doubt Tucker Kraft is tight end 1 right now.
I don't really care if Musgrave falls to number 2. What I do care about is
when he's in.
Well, not just that. I feel like he looked better last year. That's my concern. It's not so much that, oh, you dropped down to tight end 2, I don't know about you anymore. No, it's not that. It's just that like I feel like he looked better and more confident last year. Like I see, this is why I like Nardison. Like Nardison looks like he's having fun. He looks like he's having fun. Carlson never looked like he was having fun. He looked scared all the time. I feel like that's like how Musgrave is looking now.
Well, see, and I think, and I could be totally wrong, but like Musgrave was supposed to be our pass catching tight end, and so we had him on a lot of routes. This year, I haven't seen him run too many routes. It's been Tucker Kraft's, but it can go back to the point to where when we do ask him to block, he is getting kind of bullied around, right?
Yeah,
that could be the issue. I mean, I don't know. So, I've no. Like I said, I have noticed Tucker Kraft in a lot more than Luke Musgrave.
Yeah, I think it's deserving too, though. Kraft is a beast, bro.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
I like him a lot because he can do it all. He really can. The only thing I just wish Kraft was a little bit faster, but he still gets away with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He still gets away with it. I want to talk on Preston because I know I told you last week that another thought that came up to my head after we were done going live was that I initially thought that Preston was slowing down. I wanted to ask you, do you think Lucas should take the starting job? But then again, Preston puts up 2 sacks this week.
Yeah. No, I don't think Lucas is. I think the way they have it is the key. Like, start Preston and then just kind of rotate them in like they were doing.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Preston might be starting slower. I mean, he is getting a little older and stuff.
Yeah.
But this whole kind of switching, putting fresh legs in, I think is going to help Preston a lot. And then also we get to see a little bit more of Van Ness as well.
Mm-hmm. Are you liking the cornerbacks right now?
Corner?
Of course, we can agree that we're liking Jair, but Stokes, do you like Stokes?
I am a big Stokes fan. I know I think we talked about it last week. How we feel about Keyshawn as our slot. We're kind of iffy on him. I think I know Valentine was hurt this week, so he didn't play.
Oh yeah.
I'm good with our DBs right now. I like them. Like I said, I think Stokes and Jair on top 2 receivers. Maybe put Carrington in. Maybe keep Keyshawn. I don't mean, like I said, Keyshawn.
Well, you didn't see a lot of Keyshawn against the Titans.
But like, I think that had a lot to do with the pressure that the Packers were getting on to. Yeah. Will Levis couldn't get to that third read because Keyshawn's probably going to be on that second or third read typically.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Will Levis had enough time to even get to that point. So yeah, Keyshawn, you didn't see him do anything good, but you didn't see him do anything bad either. So, I'm comfortable with our DBs right now, man.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to talk on, it goes back just stuff I observed from the Titans. I want to talk about Devontae Wyatt, because Devontae Wyatt has really been quiet in the sack department ever since he came into the league.
Who's that? Say that again. Sorry.
Devontae Wyatt.
Oh.
Like I feel like he doesn't get too many sacks, is what I'm saying. But he had 2 yesterday, which I was very impressed with because I was like, okay, yeah, like I think that's what we all wanted when we drafted you, right? But I look at the Titans. Because what's been the number one criticism of the Packers over the years? They can't stop the run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Titans are very good at stopping the run, at least in the inside. If you take them on the outsides, they kind of struggle there. But in the insides, they stop it. But a lot of that has to do with their defensive line is heavy. They're big dudes, bro.
Yeah.
They're big dudes. Devontae Wyatt is not that big compared to like some of those Titans defenders. So I don't want to jump too far into the draft next year, but what would you think about getting a big defensive lineman next year in the first round? As of today, me personally, and I don't know who's even coming out of the draft or into college, but if we can get a number 1 stud inside linebacker, I think I would rather have that. Yeah, I think I figured you were either gonna say yes or go inside linebacker.
Yeah,
I think that would be my number 2, but I think having a big dude up front compared to inside linebacker, I think the big dude up front is more priority when it comes to stopping the run. Now, I do think your middle linebackers play a big part in stopping the run too. Quay, see, here's my thing about Quay. I love Quay. I know he's getting criticized, and I understand the criticism. I'm not saying guys like you're overreacting because they're not. Like Quay did not look good week 1 and week 2. But my only issue with Quay is he's just taking bad angles. He's not a bad player. He's just taking.
Yeah, no, like I said, he's a step or 2 slow or step out of position or whatever the case may be. It just seems like he's always in the vicinity, but not always there to make the play. If that makes sense. I mean, yeah.
Okay. All
but
right.
yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't be either way. Either way, I wouldn't be mad. But if you're asking me personally, yeah, give me that inside linebacker. Especially with the way the defense.
So what you're saying right now, you wouldn't be happy with Quay and Cooper right now? Because I honestly thought that was going to be a good duo, if I'm being honest.
I do too, but we haven't. I mean, Cooper came in, I feel like later in the game, but we haven't seen too much. I mean, I know from what I'm hearing is that they were trying to ease Cooper into the system since he would have missed all of offseason with his injury. So, like I said, I'm like today, yeah, give me an inside linebacker. But if by week 7, Cooper and Quay are like the 2 starting and they're dominating, then my tone might change a little bit. But because I thought Cooper was going to be like the dynamic duo as well when we drafted him.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know too much about Edgerrin Cooper. I had a couple people who went to A&M that said that we got a beast, we got a dog as a linebacker. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. And then he got hurt, didn't do anything in the offseason. So it's a wait and see game.
Yeah. All right, so we got another guest. What's up, Andrew? Go ahead, man.
Yo.
Yeah, what's up, man?
So
You a football fan?
I am.
Who do you like?
I like the Giants, and I think they're gonna upset the Cowboys this Thursday night.
Okay, you want to talk about that, Andrew?
Yeah, let's jump into it. Cowboys, Giants.
Let's see. Cowboys, Giants, are y'all home or away?
We're home.
Okay, so give me what is your biggest key to getting a victory?
I think our defense just needs to play the way that they did last week. I think we had I didn't count, but we had 8+ sacks last week.
Did you?
Hella sacks. Our defense played really good last week. I think if our defense plays well this week and our offense keeps scoring, we need a better kicker because we don't have a backup kicker. Well, we just signed one last week, but he missed a 40-yarder.
Yeah.
I don't know. The kicker might, because of our kicking problems, we might lose. But if we had a kicker, I say we would.
Yeah. So y'all got beat by the Vikings pretty bad week 1. Y'all only lost by 3 last against the Commanders, and then y'all beat the Giants. Y'all beat the Browns.
We only lost to the Commanders because we didn't have a kicker.
So the Cowboys defense has not been looking good. Do you see Daniel Jones moving the ball on them?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't look too bad against the Browns, and the Browns defense is not terrible. It's not terrible.
Coming into the season, we thought the Browns were a pretty good defense. So moving the ball against them, yeah, it's pretty good. And going back to his sack, yeah, they had 8 sacks.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna need sacks if you want to beat the Cowboys. I will say that. I think if y'all can rough up Dak, anything can happen. I always believe if you're home, you have a chance. I always believe that. You got the crowd behind you. I personally think Malik Neighbors has to have a good game for you guys to win.
Yeah, that's going to be every week that the Giants play.
Yeah.
And one of us has to have a good game.
I think if Malik Neighbors has a similar week to what he did against the Browns, I think you guys have a chance. I say you guys have a chance because no one had you beating the Browns, and the Cowboys don't look good right now. So, I'd be lying to you if I said y'all don't have a chance. That would be a lie. But I got to be honest with you. I think I see the Cowboys bouncing back. Let me see. Does Dak always do well against the Giants?
He does.
Okay, so
he's known to own the Giants, but the Cowboys have won 13 out of the last 14 games we've played. But I think this is where we break that streak.
Oh, I like the confidence. I like the confidence.
Well, I think this is a good. I think it would set you guys up for the rest of the season if y'all win this game. I think if y'all win this game, because, the talk has always been Giants are the worst team in the league. I think you can shut all that up if y'all win this week.
Yeah. I think we're going to go 7-10 this season.
Okay.
7-10, missing the playoffs, I'm guessing?
Yeah, missing the playoffs. I have the Cowboys going 10-7. The Commanders going 11-6, and the Eagles going 13-4.
Yeah, me and Andrew talked about it. I told him I got the Eagles winning that division by at least 2 games. It looks like you do too. Washington winning 11 games, though, that's a big hot take for me.
I think they have a very easy schedule. I think their schedule's easy.
Possibility because they play every third place team in the division, so yeah, their schedule should be easy. But y'all schedule is easy too, isn't it?
Nah, not really.
No. Who do y'all got? Let me see.
We have to play Dallas and the Eagles twice because they're in our division, and then we play.
Cool. Yeah, you're not lying. Your schedule is tough, man. I'm looking at it right now. Ooh. Okay, so let me ask you this. What 7 games you got winning? He's probably pulling it up. I think he drifted away. I don't know what happened. I'll give him a second to come back. There's another.
Yeah, what the heck?
Wait, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. It won't let me pull up the games, but without me leaving.
Okay.
I forget.
I'll go over them real fast. I'll go over the games real fast. Just let me touch on this new guest real fast. Hey, what's up, man?
What's good?
You into football?
Yeah.
Who's your team?
The Giants.
Oh, we got 2 Giants fans in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what? Andrew says he has the Giants going 7-10. What do you think?
I don't really know. Like the same thing, probably.
All right. So, I'm just gonna read off the schedule, and then y'all. So, y'all both have the Giants winning against the Cowboys.
Yes.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. I say we take it by a field goal. Yeah.
On the road.
On the road, yeah, I don't see the Seahawks doing it. Aren't they 3-0 right now, or are they 2-1?
They're
3-0.
They're 3-0. Don't they have an easy schedule though?
I'll let you look that up, Andrew, because I'm on the Giants right now. Okay, hold on. Let's just continue. Bengals.
Oh, we lost. Yeah, we lost that.
All right, so right now that's what, 3 wins. Okay.
I have us losing to the Cowboys. I think we have a chance of winning, but I have us losing to the Cowboys Thursday night.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I have you guys losing too, but I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I'll be a little shocked if it's a blowout because that Cowboys defense is not looking good. So that's why I don't think it'll be a blowout. You should be able to score.
Our defense is looking like kind of scary.
Let's see. Y'all gave up 15 points against the Browns, 21 against the Commanders. That's not bad. Y'all did give up 28 against the Vikings. But I think if your defense can hold them to around 20 points or less, any NFL team gets a good chance of winning whenever you can hold someone under 20 points, which you kind of almost did the past 2 weeks. But all right, man. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say?
Can you keep going over the schedule?
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. My bad. Eagles at home.
I say we lose. I don't really know because it depends on Saquon.
Well, Saquon's gonna have a game.
Oh, yeah. That game's not even gonna be close. It's gonna be like 80-0.
Giants Steelers.
We win that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had a winner with that too.
Commanders.
I think the Steelers are fake. Commanders, I had a splitting with the Commanders.
Okay.
But
Panthers.
Commanders, I had a splitting that too.
Saints.
Even though, wait.
Saints are kind of being good, so I'd say like close game. Maybe they win.
Dude, you're not.
I say it's a close game and the Saints win. But how they've been doing in the beginning of the season, like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I think they're not like real. I think they're fake. I don't think they're gonna do too good.
The Ravens.
Who?
Ravens.
We lose that by
Yeah, we lose.
Falcons.
Falcons, we lose barely.
Yeah,
Colts. I think y'all should win
we
that.
win.
Yeah, we win Colts.
And
We're
then
away though, right?
no, you're home.
Oh.
And then you in with the Eagles.
I say we win against the Eagles because I have the Eagles winning the division by 2. So I say all their starters are sitting, and I say we win. that last game.
Yeah, maybe we'll win that.
All right, Andrew, you got anything to say to that?
Oh man, y'all got a tough schedule.
The good thing about you guys is y'all are a team that y'all have nothing to lose, man. So like, if y'all do pull off all these wins, like, hey man, more props to you, man. But I mean, you're right though.
I do got a question for him.
Your schedule is brutal. Like I'm looking at some of these games, like yeah, they're brutal. But Andrew has a question. Go ahead.
Hey, so how do y'all feel about Daniel Jones as Giants fans?
I say,
Trade him.
yeah, I say we need to get rid of him. But I like how we didn't go for a QB this year.
Oh, you like the fact that they didn't draft a QB this year?
Yeah, because Daniel Jones' contract doesn't finish, so we'd be paying him for nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
I like how
they did pay him all that money
for next year for like Manning or something.
So let me ask you this: let's say you want to trade him, but no one wants him.
I say we draft a QB.
Okay, well that's probably the only thing you can do if no one wants him.
Yeah.
The Giants kind of put themselves in a bind by paying Jones. That's where they messed up.
Yeah.
They,
And letting Saquon go for free.
oh my gosh, yeah, I can't believe y'all let Saquon walk. That was crazy.
Well, I mean, we got Malik Neighbors. That's kind of a W.
Yeah, he's going to be a stud for sure. But I mean, the difference is a running back can win you the game. I don't think a wide receiver can win you a game unless he just absolutely goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have the quarterback to get him the ball.
Yeah, you got to have a good quarterback too to give him the ball. That's true.
So
Either way, I low-key think we're not making the playoffs, so I say we just flop if we know we're not going to win and just trade Daniel Jones for a good QB.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. I'm just trying to think if I have any other questions for Giants fans right now. Nah, I think the Daniel Jones was pretty much all I had. I definitely wanted to see what y'all thought about Daniel Jones because, I mean, y'all are pretty much stuck with him as of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do y'all like because against the Browns, didn't y'all fumble the opening kickoff?
Yeah, and first play of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I
almost turned the QB off.
I remember watching that. I was like, man, it must suck to be a Giants fan, man. Like, or at least right now. But I will say this: y'all's franchise is not a bad franchise. Like, I mean, how many Super Bowls y'all got?
4, I think.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, that's not a bad franchise. It's just that y'all just made one mistake, and that was with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
But all right.
I think Malik is gonna be better than Prime OBJ, to be honest.
Probably might be on something.
I mean, I'm not gonna say he's not. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad take. I mean, OBJ was one of a kind though. But the thing about OBJ is like
he had Eli Manning.
Well, not just that,
Daniel Jones.
but like unlike like Devontae Adams had multiple good years. I think Odell had like maybe 2, 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his prime should have been longer than what it was, but I mean, oh well. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna touch up more on the Packers and then probably get off pretty soon. We've already been on for over an hour and a half. But if you guys have anything else to say, you can go ahead and say it right now.
I'm good. I got a follow though.
Me too.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming up, man.
You're welcome.
All right. So, yeah, thanks, guys, for coming up. Appreciate it. All right, man. Getting close towards the end.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about some important stuff with the Packers or anything else, what else you got?
Yeah. So let's just touch on real quick. You did ask this question, so I want to ask it in the chat. You said, should when Love comes back, should Malik be utilized in the offense still? If I don't think so. I think they should just keep him as the backup, especially with Jordan's knee not being going to be 100%, right? MCL sprain, he can re-aggravate that at any point in time during the season. So putting Malik out there too many times unnecessarily, I guess you could say, could have an impact of him getting hurt as well. So I say just keep the offense as is when Jordan comes back.
So what I was thinking, what was his name? What was that Saints quarterback's name that would come in?
Taysom Hill.
I was thinking something like that. Like on like a 4th and inches, 4th and 1. Bring him in.
I mean, it could, but I still think just utilize the offense the way it's been operating. That's just my take. But if they do, they do. I just
see it as an opportunity to make the offense more dangerous. That's how I see it. But like I don't think it's something that should be forced though. But like for example, let's say you have Malik Willis on the sideline for the rest of the year. Playoffs come. You're down by 2, 4th and inches on the goal line. You bring in Malik Willis, the defense isn't gonna know what's coming. So I mean, on times like that, it might be like, oh
yeah.
Wow.
My thing is who's our best offensive player?
It's Love.
Don't take the ball out of his hands. That's my like. If it comes down to it, keep the ball in Jordan Love's hands. Whether it's throwing the pass, if it's inches, he can run still too. That's just my take. Keep the ball in Jordan Love's hands. That's your best player on offense. You know, you paid him all that money. I mean, I get it. I get the idea.
I just think like for me, it's just creativity. Like for example,
for sure.
If you get shotgun formation and you got Malik on one side, Josh Jacobs on the other, defense ain't gonna know what's coming. It might not even go to any of them, right? It might be a pass, but like little stuff like that, you get the defensive coordinator thinking. And the thing I like about Jordan Love is he can read defenses, so he can have Malik on one side, Josh Jacobs on the other side. And he can, okay, I'm going to give it to Malik or I'm going to give it to Josh or I'm going to throw the ball just by reading the defense. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think if you have all of them on the field with Jordan Love ability to read the defense, I think it'd be very scary. But, I mean, even if they don't go that route, I still think the offense is scary. But, I mean, like I said, like the more creative Matt LaFleur can get, because let's be honest, he's already being creative and he's in his bag. Like, he's borderline unstoppable right now. Borderline. I mean, and the fact that he's doing it with Malik Willis, someone that the Tennessee Titans gave up on, they didn't even believe in him so much that they traded him for a 7th round pick. Like that just tells you how much nobody believed in him. Yeah. And we can also argue too that it's because he's in Green Bay. We can argue that he's doing well because he's in Green Bay. That if he was still in Tennessee, it wouldn't be the same thing.
For sure. But, like there's like like I said, we talked about it a little bit, but there's different organizations that have bad schemes, bad coaches, etc. I think Green Bay has a good organization that always has good coaching, or at least somewhat decent coaching, right? That's going to get the best out of players. Some organizations, they don't have the best coaching or the best scheme for that specific player or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I just think, just keep them on the sideline, do what you do. Like I said, if they end up doing it, cool.
Yeah.
Like you said, it does add another dynamic to what the defense has to think about. But I personally, I don't see it happening first.
It's just, Andrew, the way I see it, Andrew, with as good as Malik Willis is playing, how do you not keep him involved? That's the way I see it. Like,
I mean, we all, once we found out Jordan Love was coming back, we all knew this was a temporary thing. So, I mean, I think Malik did too. So,
I mean, we'll see.
I don't know what his contract situation is, but if this was his last game that he played, he might have won himself a starting job somewhere else, possibly. I don't
know. That's kind of a long shot. I think he would need a couple more games underneath his belt. But, I mean, for sure, it's his moment right now. We can agree on that, right? Yeah.
So Packers-Vikings, we want to talk about that real quick, or we kind of touched on it already?
What else did you want to touch on? As far as Packers-Vikings.
Well, first, do you? I know I said I think Love plays. Do you think Jordan Love plays?
Yeah, I think so. I think he looks too good on the sidelines. I saw him in practice hopping around too. He looks. I think the only reason why he didn't play week 2 is because Malik Willis had a good first game. If Malik Willis had a bad first game, I think could have gone with Love against the Titans, but because I personally thought Love was ready. But I think in LaFleur's mindset, I think he was thinking, why risk it? And I feel confident in what me and Willis can do to get a win in Tennessee. But against the Vikings, the only way I don't see him playing is if he's not ready, but I do think he's ready, and I do see him playing.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's playing. Like I said, I thought a lot of people thought he was coming back or coming to play in Tennessee. Like I mentioned before, I feel like our medical staff and training team, they're one of the more cautious ones in the league, and they don't put people out there if they're not ready. So the fact that what's up?
Especially when you're paying him $55 million a year.
Exactly. The fact that he was practiced all week last week, and didn't miss a day, and then like I said, it was a game time decision basically if he was going to play or not. Mm-hmm. All signs point that he should be playing this week. Now, if he doesn't play this week, might be a little concerned.
Yeah,
like this, if something happened or something. But if Jordan doesn't play, we might lose this game. Even how good Malik is playing, in my opinion, I think the Vikings defense is really good.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts and Titans, they don't have the worst defense in the league. So, I mean, I think it's kind of disrespectful to say, oh, well, Malik Willis played the Colts and the Titans. Well, I mean, Malik still has to go out there and perform, right? And what I personally believe is if Malik Willis has to start, I still think no matter how good that Vikings defense is, LaFleur is going to have a good game plan. Like, he is going to have a good game plan. It's just who's going to be smarter, LaFleur or the defensive coordinator for the Vikings, because –
which is Brian Flores. So Brian Flores was one of the top defensive coordinators. I mean, he was. So like I said, I know, and just the fact that it kind of the way they made the Texans offense look.
I didn't watch the game. I should have watched the highlights though, because when I saw that they only scored 7 points, I was like, how?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was the second play of the game. Tip pass interception. CJ shot through. Like I said, I don't.
He had 2 picks or just 1.
Oh, I think he had 2. I think
he had 1 touchdown, 2 picks. There is a rumor, like I said, I don't know how true this is because it's just a rumor. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know. Is it true that CJ Stroud pretty much looked like he quit?
See, I didn't watch the whole game either. I had it on another TV because it was, like you said, it was on during the Packers game. So I had it on the other TV. So I wasn't really – and the other TV was on I had it on quad box, so it was multiple games going on at one time. So I didn't see that. I mean, he was his numbers weren't the great or not good at all. He was 20 of 31, 215 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And then it looks like Davis Mills came in towards the end when I guess the game was out of.
Yeah, you gotta give props. Your defense got to be good to stop CJ Stroud. I mean, I don't think CJ Stroud is, oh my God, but I do think he's up and coming. I do think what I mean by that is I think he's very, like you can slow him down. I don't think he's there yet to the point where, man, like CJ Stroud is just going to get his. Like, nah, I don't think he's there yet. I do think if you have a good defensive game plan, you can slow down Stroud and win the game. And that's what the Vikings did. But I still think it's still very impressive because I do see the Texans in the playoffs. I do see them possibly winning a game or 2 in the playoffs as well. Just depending, how good that offense clicks. Because I think what's a little bit more impressive with me is that the Texans defense doesn't look bad, and they still gave up 30+ points.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. Yeah,
like that, I was like, whoa, like our defense better come to play. Like, but here's the thing. I think stopping Jefferson, I think it's going to, for the Packers, personally, I think it's going to be a tougher task to stop Jones than it is to stop Jefferson.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I agree with that point. I think we got to stop the run. I think Aaron Jones is going to come in to try to prove something. I mean, basically, so stopping him is going to be, in my opinion, probably the number one task.
Yeah. And he's coming in thinking this is a home game for him, it's not a away game for him. Like people, I mean, anyone who boos him, I mean, come on, man. Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't boo the guy. But I mean, it's going to be very interesting. It definitely is our toughest challenge. But like, if Love plays, I mean, I don't see that defense stopping Love all 4 quarters. And can our defense stop Darnold enough for like Love to do his thing and come out with the victory? Like, I think Love will do his thing because you also got to understand it's Love's first game back too. He's going to want to make a statement as well. It's not just Jones, it's Love too. It's his home game of the year. He played well against the Eagles, aside from completion percentage. But a lot of those were drops, slips by the receivers. So, I mean, you know, I think Love is going to come out. He's going to have a good game. I think if Love can just do what Malik did, not turn the ball over, dude, we come out with a win.
So we're actually as of now. This is on Tuesday, so the odds will probably change later throughout the week. But we open as a -2.5 favorite.
I know I saw that. I was a little shocked, just simply because we don't know the status
of what's going on.
When I saw that, I was like, whoa, Love has to be coming back then.
Yeah, I mean, indicators. This is saying that Love is coming back now.
I think
I want to check it Thursday, Friday, and see what it looks like then. But
if Love is coming back, I think that's a perfect spread. Like I do think we should be favored at home.
Yeah. Give us the 3 points that home field advantage typically gives people, right? So it's going to be a tough one, man. So, like I said, we can kind of go into the next category. I am picking the Packers to win this game. Now, if Love plays, if Malik Willis plays, I still think we do good, but I don't think we do good enough to win.
What's the score if Malik plays? You know, or don't give me a score. Like you just said, if Malik plays, we lose. So how much?
Yeah, so I say we lose by touchdown or less if Malik plays. So I don't know. I mean, in that range.
How much you see them scoring on our defense, regardless? Regardless of
probably like if Malik. I think the score if Malik plays, I'll put the score 24-17, 24-20, something like that. Something along those lines, maybe.
You see the Packers scoring over 25 if Love plays?
Yes.
Then we should win.
Yeah, 27-ish points.
I think we should.
I don't know if we get up to the 30s, but I think we score over 25.
Yeah. Do you see us winning the turnover battle?
I think we get to Darnold. I do. I at least once. I think we get at least one pick.
Yeah.
At least one pick. I don't.
You know, we're always saying, "Oh, LaFleur's in his bag." Well, how about Hafley, dude?
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
Hafley's been in his bag too.
Hold on, I'm trying to see. So Darnold's only thrown 2 interceptions this year so far. So, I think we get at least one this week. At least one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Jones fumbles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could see him turning the ball over a little bit. But then again, I'd be lying to you if I said if I'm wishing he hopes he has a bad game. Like, I mean, as a Packers fan, yeah, I mean, I want to shut him down, right? But I mean, this is one of the games, Andrew, where like, hey, if we were to lose, I'm okay with that. It's early in the season. The first place is still in reach. I mean, I know it would be 2 games back, but it's 2 games back of the Vikings, not necessarily the Lions. So, but I mean, I gotta admit, the Vikings look better than the Lions right now. The Lions don't look scary at all.
Yeah.
I think that Cardinals game, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So,
all right. I know it looks like we're running almost 2 hours. You want to go ahead and pick week 4 games? Got anything else?
I wanted to see, did you want to do week 4 games now, or did you want to do it like either Thursday before the game or Friday? And then on that live, we just do game picks and then bring people up on the live.
Either way.
Or do you think we should just do once a week for now? Because I mean, once a week is going good, to be honest.
Yeah, we can. Whatever you feel like, man.
It's just like the more we do this, the more I'm like, man, like we should be doing more. But like, I mean,
we can do Friday. Like Thursdays are probably a little bit harder, but Fridays we can do it, or we can pick Thursdays today and do Fridays.
We'll pick Thursdays.
We'll do Thursdays, and then we'll pick Friday, or we'll
Well,
Friday.
we'll pick Thursday right now, and then Friday we'll go live again, and we'll do game picks for that week, and then bring up people on the live if they want to come up.
Okay,
We'll
because
see.
there might.
We'll see how that goes, and then the following week we're like, we don't know. Let's just cut it back down to once a week. We'll cut it back down to once a week.
Okay, yeah, because we'll know more information too about who's probably playing, not playing, stuff like that as well.
Okay.
So Thursday night game, Cowboys Giants. I think we both kind of said our picks earlier when we were talking to the Giants fans. I got the Cowboys. I know the Giants look good against the Browns, but I don't see.
I got it. Let me see. Hold on. I want to look at the.
I'm pulling up the spread. I think they're -6.
That's high. I mean, well, I guess Vegas is still disrespecting the Giants, but
Yeah, -6, and Giants are at home.
all right. So I'm gonna give you my pick, which is gonna be the obvious pick, but I'm gonna give a hot take on it too.
Okay.
I'm taking Cowboys, but if they lose, I think they're done. Their schedule is brutal.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's if the Cowboys do lose, they are in definite trouble. Do you think Mike McCarthy is fired?
You know, I was talking to my uncle about this because he was telling me he doesn't like McCarthy anymore. I was telling him, you know, the Packers fired McCarthy mid-season. So, I mean, I could see the Cowboys doing it too. I mean, especially if your season's done, why keep McCarthy? I mean, the only reason why you would keep McCarthy is if you truly believe in him. I mean, like, yes, I will admit it's not nice to see coaches go away mid-season, but sometimes, Andrew, you got to bring a new energy in, and you can't wait until the end of the season for that. Like, I mean, let's say the Cowboys are done, but you bring in someone new and they end the season on a good, on a good run. Like, well, that's something positive to look forward to, right? But if you fall against the Giants, and then let's say you fall next week to, let me see, the Steelers on the road, like, dude, you're 1-4 at that point, and you really got to ask yourself, can McCarthy turn this around?
Yeah.
Now, this is what I will say about McCarthy. I think when people view him, especially Cowboys fans, they're thinking about offense mentality. Yes, he is the offensive play caller, but he's also a head coach. Do you remember 2 years ago when Dak went down and they started Cooper Rush? The Cowboys won every game that Cooper Rush started.
Mm-hmm.
That is coaching. So, like, when I hear people say get rid of McCarthy, I'm like, dude, you better be careful what you wish for, because he is a good coach. Now, as far as offensive play calling, I think he's past his prime on that. I think there's a lot of better offensive coordinators that are really in their bag right now, and I think
it's because he's almost, I won't say dated.
He's too predictable.
Yeah.
Like in the playoffs last year, you saw Savage. He read that slant, pick 6 in the playoffs. Like, I mean, the other team watches film too, you know, and like Savage knew what was coming. Like they're just too predictable. And then I saw them against the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of it looked too predictable, not a lot of creativity. I think, you know, like, I think my uncle was telling me, like, he or my cousin was telling me that it was better when McCarthy wasn't calling plays. But then again, Cowboys last year looked good offensively and McCarthy was calling the plays. So it's like, damn, who is the issue over there? You know, it's very hard. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint, like, what's the issue over there.
Yeah,
I don't think it's McCarthy. I think you got to blame McCarthy doesn't run the defense. McCarthy doesn't run the defense. And I'm looking at Dak's numbers. Besides the completion percentage, Dak looked good. They put up 25 points. I know a lot of that was late, but you also gave up 28 points. You gave up 44 the week before that. Like, is that really McCarthy's fault? I mean, if you're going to blame McCarthy for not getting his players.
Yeah.
Like, he's not getting his players ready. And even though he doesn't run the defense, as a head coach, he can go into that defensive room and be like, hey, what's going on? You know, I think LaFleur didn't like what was going on with Joe Barry. So supposedly LaFleur sat down one-on-one with every defensive player and said, hey, what's going on? Like, tell me what you think is the issue. Like, That's what I heard that LaFleur did. So the thing is, that's the benefit of being the head coach. You can do whatever you want, right? So like, if you truly think, hey, I don't think I'm the issue, but I think our defense is slacking, then go talk to your defense, right? Like, I think that's something McCarthy should be doing, because if he doesn't, Andrew, yeah, he might be out the door, man.
Yeah, I just know Jerry is very loyal to coaches and sticks with them too long.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, I don't know. Like, it's an interesting question. Like, if they do go 1-4, like they lose to the Giants and then they go lose to Pittsburgh, like you said, they're 1-4. At what point do they need to, like, okay, hey, something ain't clicking, right? And it like you said, it is crazy that Dak had almost an MVP season last year under McCarthy, and then this year, not looking horrible, but he's not looking like he was last year, right?
I will say this though, McCarthy has a lot less weapons this year than last year. I think he had better weapons last year.
Who did they lose?
They lost Cooks, didn't they?
No, he's still there.
He's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Pollard is better than Zeke. I don't think.
Well, they definitely lost in the running back area. Yeah,
I mean, they can't run the ball at all. So, like, I mean, what offensive coordinator is gonna help the Cowboys be better? I mean, come on, they can't run the ball. I mean, I personally believe Zeke can get back to old Zeke, but it's gonna take some time and effort. You know, it's going to take some time and effort. And maybe some coaching as well. So, like, I think the Cowboys have a lot of work to do, a lot of work if they want to come play in late January and stuff like that. No one is afraid of the Cowboys right now. The Giants are going to go in on Thursday thinking they can win, if I'm being honest. I think they're going to go in there thinking they can win.
I mean, like I said, it's all going to come down. I think that game's all going to come down to how good does Daniel Jones look?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the key. Like, I think Dak is going to get his against the Giants defense, I think. It's just how good is that Giants offense going to look against that Cowboys defense? Yeah. Can they keep up? I was going to say I think Singleton should have a big game for the Cowboys to have or for the Giants to have a big game. Sorry. Devin Singletary, the running back.
Which is very possible. Just run the other way that Micah Parsons isn't at, and you can do it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be, like I said, I have the Cowboys. Like I said, they're -6.
I think that's too high. I think that's too high.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna bet on this game. If I do, I'll probably just do the money line. But
I think it's too high, Andrew. But like, if you observe the Cowboys when they do win, it's blowouts.
Yeah.
When they do win, when their offense is clicking, they blow out the other team. And when their offense isn't clicking, they're getting blown out. So like, but here's the thing. Going back to McCarthy, if you want to keep your job, you got to win the games that you're supposed to win, and that starts Thursday. Mm-hmm. That starts Thursday. If you don't do that, yeah, man. I mean, I will not be surprised if Jerry Jones fires you.
So what are we talking about at the Cowboys? If they lose.
Here's another thing too. I'm gonna let you finish what you gotta say, but their next two games, Giants and Steelers, they're both primetime games, which means everyone's gonna be watching.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna be watching. So yes, like, just imagine they drop those two primetime games. Everyone's gonna be talking about Mike McCarthy. Everyone's gonna be saying something or someone has to go, right? I know Zimmer hasn't been there long, or Zimmerman, is that his name? The defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
I know he hasn't been there long, but that does not mean he does not deserve criticism yet. Like, dude, like, your defense was terrible, especially those first two drives against the Ravens. Oh my gosh. Like, of course, you put Mike McCarthy in a terrible position, down 14-3. So I mean, yeah, like, it's kind of, for me, it's hard to just throw it on McCarthy. Like, I mean, well, when you call the offensive plays but you're already down 14-3 midway through the first quarter or whatever it was, like, that's tough for any coach, Andrew. Like, it's tough for any coach, but it goes back to, it's your responsibility to make sure your players show up. And I mean, if I'm a defense Zimmerman a little bit too, the Ravens, they ran a little curl route and the guy missed a tackle and the guy just took off for like 60 plus yards. Like, that's not on Zimmerman. Like that's on the player, you know. So,
Yeah.
but overall, though, I think the defense looked bad. Like I think it wasn't just the players. I think some of that play calling was just too easy. If you observe that first drive from the Ravens, too easy, way too easy. It looked like a freaking varsity team against a freshman team. That's how easy it looked. Like that, dude. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, what are we talking about the Cowboys? So there's going to be three different types of narratives, right? On Friday or Monday, whatever you want to call it. If the Cowboys lose to the Giants, the narrative is Cowboys are in trouble, McCarthy fired, yada yada yada. Right? What we talked about. If the Cowboys barely beat the Giants, are we still kind of in that same kind of category? Like Cowboys are still in trouble? Or what's wrong with the Cowboys type narrative? Is if like they beat them by a field goal, or it's a close game all the way down to the wire.
I only see it being a close game if their defense stinks it up again.
Yeah,
If their defense shapens up, they should run away with this game.
yeah. But like, do you think the narrative's still the same as if they lose? Like, what's wrong with the Cowboys?
Nah, a win is always going to give you another week.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. And so now we go to what if the Cowboys do what they're supposed to do and probably blow them out?
Oh yeah. You definitely got to start asking what's the issue, man.
Like, so if they no, I'm saying if the Cowboys blow out the Giants, right, like they're supposed to, the narrative now is it's not going to be Cowboys are back. The narrative is it still going to be like we still don't know about the Cowboys because they are supposed to beat the Giants like that.
Yeah. I think that's the narrative. I mean, but
in this game, nothing's going to really change too much as far as the narrative on the Cowboys. And I think that's the thing is like whether they blow out the Giants, they win a close game, or they lose. Like I said, the only narrative.
Well, okay, what's the narrative on them right now?
What's wrong with the Cowboys?
Okay, so let's say they beat the Giants. To me, that's not we're back, but it's kind of not it was the Giants either because it's a professional football team. Like the Giants are a professional football team that have already won this season. So like, I mean, it's just for me, it's kind of like the Cowboys can win. They just got to put it together.
Right.
I mean, if they really do not know what's going on there, they're going to lose this game. But if they do win it, it's just, like the Cowboys, if you ask me, the Cowboys are not going to win more than 10 games this season because they don't have a running game. They don't have a running game. Like you're going to put every game in Dak's hands and your schedule is brutal. Your schedule is brutal. Like you're not going to win more than 10 games. If they do though, yes, you should not fire McCarthy. You should not you got to take care of Dak if they win more than 10 games because I'm looking at their schedule. It's brutal. They got let me read it to you. They got
I got it up.
They got Steelers, Lions, Niners, Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Commanders. How many that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games all losable.
Yeah.
And then the Giants. If the Giants win on Thursday, you can mark that as 8 straight games. And then the Bengals, that would be 9 straight games. And then they got a bye with the Panthers.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I can't even say that anymore because Andy Dalton made them look good. But then after the Panthers, you got Bucks, Cowboys, Commanders. Yeah, dude, they ain't winning more than 10 games. They ain't winning more than 10 games. Zeke is going to have to – it doesn't even have to be Zeke, but someone is going to have to run the ball for the Cowboys to win 10-plus games. If they don't, I don't see them winning 10 games. How?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, eesh.
And then you even got Cowboy fans right now not even trusting in their own defense, dude.
Yeah. Eesh. Yeah, that is a tough schedule. Oof.
Yeah. And I mean, if we're going back to when the games you're supposed to win, they probably should have beat the Saints at that time.
Oh yeah, for sure. They should. I mean, I think we both picked the Saints or the Cowboys to win.
Yeah, man.
I think we both picked them, man.
But honestly, Andrew, I think what's hurting them, they can't run the ball, man.
Yeah, I mean they can't. They can't.
Let's see how many rushing. I want to see how many rushing yards they had all 3 weeks.
Well, their rushing leader right now is what's his name? Rico Doodle, whatever his name is, and he only has I just had it. He has 23 carries for 88 yards. And that's their leading rusher.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's what if you do the math on that? What is that -3 or what were we 3 weeks in?
yeah.
That's not the greatest.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's Thursday night football. I don't know. Did you have anything else to say on Thursday?
Yeah, no, I mean, I got the Cowboys to win. Like I said, that -6 is kind of sketchy for me, but
I
like
mean, when
this
the
game's so weird that I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys blew out the Giants, but I also wouldn't be surprised if the Giants went in and won that game.
yeah,
That's all.
well, because just like the guy that came up on the live, like he said, like the Cowboys have owned them. So, I mean, who's to say the Giants are not going to sneak one away this year? You know,
It
like
can.
it's possible, and why not do it at home? Like it's possible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and the best time to sneak one away is when the other team doesn't have shit figured out. Like, you know, this is the perfect. If the Giants want to end the streak, this is the perfect time to do it.
Yep.
I mean, because and another reason why the Cowboys are a mess right now, and they only have 3 days to get it together before they got to play on Thursday night. So, I mean, you know, that's not a lot of time to get it together. So that's why I'm saying if the Cowboys do go win, though, I mean, you got to give them a little bit of props because they turned it around within 3 days. I understand it's the Giants, but they are a professional team and they have won a game. So I don't know.
No, I got you, man. So we both got the Cowboys in this game. So
Yeah, I think Giants win if Daniel Jones has a good game, which is very doable because the Cowboys defense does not look good. If he could just find ways to get Malik Neighbors the ball, yeah, we might have a game, man. I don't know.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
So
we'll see. But yeah, that's Thursday night. We can keep the rest for Friday if you want to do Friday.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Friday will work better for me.
Yeah, some guy said Vikings defense this week ? We kind of talked on that. We said that their defense is very underrated. For me, I think it's Packers offense against the Vikings defense is what should be looked at as what's going to win this game. That was the only comment. But all right, man. Anything else?
Nah, man, that's it, man.
Yeah, we went for over 2 hours today. But all right, guys. TikTok, we're gonna be out probably back on Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Friday, same time.
Yeah, that will work. Yeah, that will work for me.
All right, guys. Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time. All right, guys, we're gonna hop off. So hold on, let me get off TikTok first, and then let me end this stream.